Namaste, Dr. Rajan. You have to unmute yourself.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. I think we have only a few. Let us give them a few more minutes.
Namaste, Dr. Rajan.
Namaskaram. விஜயாவை பார்த்து ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு. எப்படி இருக்கா?
நல்லா இருக்கா?
ஹைதராபாத் தானா?
ஹைதராபாத் தான்க்கா.
Hyderabad 2 days, and I think she travels a lot. Hyderabad, Delhi, Bangalore, constantly she's traveling. I think we have sufficient number of people here. I don't know what happened to Sri Lata. Normally she would be here on time. So namaste everyone. I am extremely happy to have Dr. Rajan here this morning to speak to you. You have known him only virtually this far. Many of you who are new, you only heard about him through me. So here he is in person. So fire away. Thank you. Take away, Dr. Rajan. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Dr. Rajan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Namaste, Rajanji.
Whatever questions you have, feel free to ask.
Good morning, sir. I am Madhavi, and I want to thank you for your services to our community. I want to thank you and Dr. Subramaniam sir also for your time and everything. Normally we do puja for God every day. So sometimes we feel the vibrations at home I feel a little bit, but when I go to temple, some particular pujari does the puja, we feel a lot. But that will be forever in my mind. So is there some, I believe in the God too much, or it is just like my sixth sense is my chittas are making me to feel like that?
Oh no, the feeling is quite real. What happens is the feeling is conditional on two things. One is how open you are at that time, and the particular temple, the particular shrine where you are in, and the person who is doing whatever processes. Everybody carries the space, and the person carry vibration, and your own sensitivity matters. So that's fine, no problem.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Namaste, Rajanji. My question is again on the control of senses. That again, I listened to one video of Margie shared, where you have to how to control your anger. That is, you observe and try not to get instigated by somebody else. But like 2 days back in the office again, the first thing somebody shoots an arrow, it is like I react. So it is, I'm aware that I should not react, but in that instant, I feel I'm cornered and I keep reacting. I don't know.
See, two things. One part is, you see, anger, of course, can be overcome by being a pure observer. But what is the basis of being an observer that you don't react? The basis of being an observer whereby you don't react is you realize that everything is part of the cosmic play. And so the thing is, you see, when you realize the person in front of you, that person is going to leave their body one day, you're going to leave your body one day. So in the scheme of things, whatever it is, even if the roof has fallen on your head, how does it matter? So when you have that kind of an attitude, you don't react. But there is another aspect, which is a little more of a subtle aspect that is very important to appreciate. There is something called yogic anger. Every one of us, we are playing our role in society, in whatever role we are. That is our swadharma. So when you are engaged in swadharma, as part of your swadharma, you may need to express something anger in that particular situation. But the anger is of a very special kind. You can get angry and the next instant like nothing has happened at all. So for most people, when they get angry, the emotion overwhelms them and it takes them some time to get over it.
Yes.
So if that is an anger where which is where you have truly reacted. But the yogic anger is that that anger comes and it almost feels like you're just actor over there, and a few minutes later it doesn't feel like anything happened. So then it is your swadharma unfolding.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ji. But I kept on thinking about it. Did I do anything wrong, or the way I reacted was wrong? The whole day and the next day it kept on bothering me. Even till now, it keeps bothering me. It agitates me. Did I react in the correct way, or should I have kept quiet? So it's
See, in the scheme of things, the root source comes from expectations. We have expectations something out of us, and we have expectations out of people who are working with us and all of that. And when we don't get what we want, we do feel anger or disappointment. However, the key element is, what is the source of our expectation? The source of our expectation comes because we think I am the doer, and or whoever is the person, they are the doer. The moment you say, that's fine, everybody in their cosmic flow, they come into this body and leave. Everybody has a finite time. Then at that time, you kind of let it go.
I'll try to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it is a question of realization. It is not simply you cannot be a pure observer without that internal realization.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also this yogic anger is not something that comes frequently, Sumati. Maybe once once a couple of years, not every every week,
Yes.
and not every day, definitely.
Yes, Kumarji.
Yeah, I'm having one simple question, not be complicated or simple. And the yoga is belongs to the mental exercise or physical exercise?
Actually, yoga is primarily not physical in nature. Yoga is really the experience of connecting even beyond the mind into the spiritual zone. So the thing is, basically, every exercise you practice in yoga is only, as we say, is to cleanse the nadis within you, purification process. When that happens, then in which case, by simply the mind inquiring, you can reach the highest. So yoga is essentially not physical. But then the key part is, as Patanjali explains, that if the body cannot be calm and peaceful because you have a pain here, there, or whatever, then you cannot even, let go of the mind. The things are bothering you. So, and the physical aspects of yoga help you to some degree. But it is, if you look among people who are purely hatha yogis, rarely will you come across people who have reached the highest. And because hatha yoga in itself does not lead you, it is only the physical purification. And some people tend to think in terms of hatha yoga as having everything, but that is because it is really the Buddhist approach. The influence of non-theistic religions in the Vedic system has resulted in the coming of Hatha Yoga, along with the influence of Tantra, the revival of Shiva Shakti worship and things like
Mhm.
that. And that is what brought about the coming of Hatha Yoga. If you look at the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, there is no mention of a yoga practice over there.
Yeah.
And yoga is
Yeah.
essentially not physical, the correct yoga, but physical elements are a building block towards the higher elements, which are the real yoga.
Okay. I'm observing myself and a lot of people. If you do yoga, you will all elements means weight and breathing related things. Some of the diseases will go away that we feel as mentally. Otherwise, by doing the exercise itself, it is going on. Weight loss and related things.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Are
If
you
you do,
saying diseases go
if you
away
do
by
the walk,
physical practice?
for example, a person is having the 90 kgs of weight and is doing the lot of walking and exercise, but he's not reducing the weight. Okay. If you do the yoga and some small exercises, breathing exercises, and related to the hatha yogas, the weight is decreasing 10 to 15%.
Okay, I will give you the answer for this.
Okay.
You're asking the question why it does by yoga and not with exercising, right?
Yes.
Okay, the answer is very simple. You see, what happens is loss of weight is purely a calculation of how much calories go into you and how many calories you burn. If you
Yes.
burn more than you take in, weight will automatically reduce.
Yes.
However, what happens is the greatest difficulty that people have is that they are not aware of the intake of the calorie and they are not aware of how much of calorie they are burning. However,
Yes.
what happens is with normal exercising, if they burn too much calories, they feel more hungry. And
Yeah.
so the key part is the controller. You can always know how much you're eating, but you don't know how much, at what rate your body is burning. You think by exercising it burns some amount, but the metabolic rate is very internal, whereby it can burn faster if your metabolic rate is faster, in which case you have more vitality at any given moment. So in yoga, self-awareness is what reduces the weight. When there is as you begin to have self-awareness, automatically you eat in a way that is right for you, and automatically the weight begins to fall, whether you're doing running or whatever, doesn't matter.
Yes.
And so it's very interesting. I'll give you one example. There used to be one lady who used to attend our yoga session every week. We used to do it at the temple in Maryland. So she used to attend every week. After about year and a half, I find this lady used to be fairly heavy on the very heavy side.
Mhm.
And after 1.5 years, I found she has become very slim.
Mhm.
So I asked her, what have you been doing? You seem to have lost a lot of weight. So she answered the question, oh, nothing. I'm only attending our weekly yoga class. And so I asked her, has your eating pattern or anything changed? She was a non-vegetarian. She said she stopped eating meat because she no longer feels attracted to meat. She doesn't want it.
Okay.
And the other part of it, when she is hungry, instead of reaching out for these big cookies with all the butter and fat and everything in it, what she would do is she will reach out for an apple and eat an apple. Nobody told her to do it. It was her inner sense that was guiding her.
That's correct.
That is the effect of yoga,
That is
activating your inner senses and
Okay.
doing what is right for you.
Okay. Yeah, good answer. Good. I feel good.
You were in the West Coast earlier, right?
I'm East Coast only from the beginning.
Oh, where are you located?
Initially, I'm Michigan. I stayed in Michigan 19 years, and the last 4 years in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wonderful. I will be in Atlanta on 12th. That is this coming Saturday.
Coming Saturday. Okay.
There
Okay.
is a program over there in the Alpharetta Library from
Yes.
2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, I got an invitation with my friends.
Ah,
Oh, that is you. Welcome, Atlanta.
thank you.
Definitely will try to attend the program.
What is this book about? You're on mute, Kumarji.
So that book is
Dr.
called
Raj.
Yoga Concepts for Global Application. So effectively in the book, we basically show that yoga is about the search of every individual a being or society about what is the meaning of existence, why are we here. So that is the real focus of yoga. And accordingly, when we think in terms of yoga, the yogic purification in us works through three different ways. One is physical mobilization, is the Hatha Yoga approach. The physically staying in a posture and observing within. The second is vibrational, developing a sensation of mantras and all the vibrations you feel, the food you eat, the company you keep, how you feel, like Madhavi was explaining before, how she goes to when she feels to the temple and all of that. That kind of a thing, developing your sensory vibrations which actually purify your nadis. And the third approach is mental. The mental is simply letting go. Letting go, another word for letting go is, who do you let go to? If you mentally surrender and let go everything to God, that is the Bhakti Yoga approach. So these are the three essential elements whereby one can purify their nadis. Now, when people talk about Jnana Yoga and other forms of yoga, Karma Yoga, those are the places where you actually experience something. In Karma Yoga, you're simply doing your activities without reaction. There again, you're purifying your nadis. But Jnana Yoga is a place where when nadis are purified and you mentally ask a question, you get back your answers. So this is how the book is divided into 9 parts. You have the first part of the book is 7 chapters that talks about what is yoga. And in that one chapter, chapter 5 is the most critical one, which speaks to the nadi system and how the purification works in the nadis. And then in the second part of the book, it is about the power of breath. So what are the easy, common pranayama practices you can do for purification? The third part of the book is about Hatha Yoga. And that Hatha Yoga part may look very different from what you might popularly hear from Hatha Yoga, because we go into the root texts of Hatha Yoga, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Gheranda Samhita, how they explain it. And then the fourth part is what we call Tantra Yoga, how vibrations impact you. And then after that, we talk about the process of letting go from the purified state and how through the samyama process, you're able to get knowledge from the root source, which is Ishvara. And then, so effectively what you have done in the Yoga Sutra already. And then the next part, that was that the fifth part, I believe, is that about the nature of meditation. What are the different approaches to meditation? What does meditation do to you? How you can develop easy regimens for practice. Then comes the next part about how application of yoga is in every part of your living. And then the next element is for people who want to be yoga teachers. How do you observe functional and ethical standards when you teach yoga? And then last of all is a conclusion. So that is how the book is divided. And there are 3 appendices where the sectional breathing is additional preparatory thing to the pranayama. The other appendix is how you can do gentle physical exercises that accomplish the same nadi opening. And then the last one is about the jalneti, how you open out, then cleanse the nasal tract. So that's what the book is about.
So I got the book yesterday and I started reading. And I was very impressed with the first page. So Dr. Rajan has dedicated this to the divine and to all of us.
Yeah, there are 3 bullet points. First, dedication to sage Patanjali. Second, to the divinity that guides the purpose of this book, and to all of humanity, where we hope whom we hope will benefit.
Um, Good morning, Dr. Rajan.
Good morning, namaste.
My
I
name is
think
Saranya.
Subramaniam Ji is talking, but he's on mute.
Yeah.
Subramaniam Ji.
Yeah,
That's fine.
sorry.
Sharanya, please go ahead. Oh,
No,
sorry.
Subramaniam. Okay.
Go ahead.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, sometimes when there is complete acceptance of two things, there is some situations where the longing arises of what we actually want. So how to handle that? That is one question. And the second, the second is the repetitive thoughts. So I do regular meditation, but sometimes when I miss the meditation, and when there is like some busy or some troublesome period going on, and I'm not able to meditate, this thought process is like continuous and repetitive. So how to handle the mind traffic to slow down? Is there any way that you could guide?
Okay. You asked 2 questions. One, how by observing you develop longings for various things, right? So the key part is what is happening is anytime when you develop a longing for anything, what is coming out is desire, right? So the key thing is for you, there could be 2 aspects of it. In the normal process, when people look at things and you feel, oh, I wish I had that, right? Then in which case it is your mind that is interacting with what the object that is observed, and you feel, my friends have that, this will be useful for me, I want that, whatever, all of these kind of things make you feel, you also want it. Now, on there is a second aspect of things. The second aspect of things is, in order for you to fulfill your swadharma of life, there will be often times what will happen is, there may be something that may have crossed your mind, but unthinkingly it comes and stands in front of you. You have forgotten all about it, you're going shopping and there it is there in front of you, or somebody comes and gives it to you as a gift. And so when that happens, you know this is a tool that has come to fulfill your swadharma. Okay? So the longing come into the mind is typically desires interacting, because the mind is unable to be non-reactive. You see, the key, as you have seen in Yoga Sutra, is the mind, you observe everything, but on the other hand, you don't create any association between, the mind doesn't create any association with the object it sees. When you are in that state, you are non-reactive. But desire is also a type of reactivity, right? That is what you are explaining, the longing that comes, right? Now, coming back to the second question. The second question, when you meditate, there are times when you feel disturbed and you are unable to, and the mind is always running a thought, right? Now, two things about meditation. First is, what kind of meditation do you do? Now, I'm not asking you to answer it right now, but what happens is, in Yoga Sutra we say that you create some form of stimulant to focus your mind to do the meditation. It can be a mantra, it can be a music, it can be whatever that is, it could be some visualization, whatever brings your mind to that one point focus. When you have been doing this meditation daily without break for twice a day over a period of 6 months' time, after that period of time, the moment you sit for meditation and you invoke that stimulant, whether it's a mantra, visualization, music, whatever, then instantly what happens is, as the Patanjali Muni says, that when you practice that one-pointedness with meditation over a period of time and learn to be an observer, whatever is that stimulant you use, that creates a new program within you, whereby once you sit for meditation, it shuts out all the other programs that are activating within you, including your mind. So what happens is, in the initial stages of practice, when we say the first month or two, it is very common for the mind to wander a lot. So the instruction given is, don't worry if the mind wanders. Every time you are aware that the mind has wandered, please bring your mind back to the point of focus. But don't feel upset that the mind has wandered. That's a natural process. But if you are doing this continuously for a 6-month period, you will find it becomes less and less occasions. The mind will wander. The moment you stimulate whatever you are doing, it will immediately result in you going into the state where you can immediately get into all the thoughts going away. How long have you been meditating?
I have been meditating like last 10 years, and in between, like last 5 years, I'm continuously meditating. But this 1 year, I'm taking a lot of breaks. So that's when I observe this.
See, what happens is, the rule of yoga when anybody is doing meditation is, you have to do it twice a day. And what happens is, if you're pressed for time, my guidance for everyone is, do for 5 minutes, do for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Why is that 2 minutes or 5 minutes important? If you don't keep that practice regularly, then it will fall off. And what happens is, if you keep giving breaks in between, whatever is the neuroplasticity, actually, do you know what is neuroplasticity? No, don't worry. You see, whatever is the network that has formed in your brain, that the moment you stimulate that activity of whatever you're doing for meditation, immediately you go into or very quickly you go into the thoughtless state. Okay? that that will go away if you don't do it every day. So to maintain, so what is neuroplasticity is, it is the network in the brain that supplies energy for any particular activity. Okay, so you don't have to worry about digesting your food, you don't have to worry about so many things you do, your eyes blinking or whatever, right? Because what happens is, the brain is already, you do it every day, so the brain is already wired for it. It supplies. In the body, nothing can happen, the body and mind complex, nothing can happen without energy flowing. The job of the brain is to allocate enough energy to every activity. So once you start doing meditation regularly, it forms a network in order to supply energy for your meditation. Okay, so once you're not regular with it, slowly it falls off, and once that energy falls off, you have to rebuild your energy again by being regular. So that is why you should never miss a daily yoga practice, meditation practice. If you are in a hurry, do for 5 minutes. So Mr. Subramanian, please go ahead. You're muted.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
I'm your student in the evening classes. I was attending for at least 3 months. And in between, I had some work issues. Therefore, I had a break and again going to come back soon within a week or two. Those classes helped me a lot, and it was good. And that's why I wanted to appreciate. I wanted to thank you for them. Number two is, my mind always is dull to start with. Suppose if you ask any question, it will leave it. I don't even bother to pay attention to that. But when it's challenged, it quickly reacts, and it reacts very correctly. And the way in which the answer goes back is precise. And only when I'm challenged, I start thinking. Till then, I don't know why I don't think. And I don't even bother to pay attention many times. Out of 100 times, let's say, only 1% I may pay attention. Otherwise, suppose, for example, why to bring some other issues or anything. My wife says something, I nod my head, but it did really go into my head seriously? I don't know. But when it is challenged, yes, definitely it goes, and a very reasonable answer will be given, and it is correct. It happens even at the work also. So I don't know how to overcome this dullness of the mind. For that, I struggle a lot. And I question myself why I do like this, but still it goes. So
see, what
should I do for this?
See, I don't think you need to do anything. The key part is, you see, it is really sometimes people in a very funny way call it as selective hearing. You know, when they say selective hearing, if somebody is going to be, asking you questions you don't want to hear, then in which case over a period of time you typically tune out. And this was somebody who just put on the chat box that very often spouses tend to do that to their other half. So so from my perspective, if that is also happening for you at work, that kind of a thing, I would not worry too much, because you're finding your peace within you and you're aware of it and you're mentally trying to work it. But at the same time, you're at peace with yourself the way you are. So continue, no problem.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you. Then
because what it is life is not about being productive functionally from the way others have decided for you. Life is all about feeling the harmony within yourself. And as part of that harmony, whatever you do in society becomes your swadharma. But if something is not naturally happening to you, then it is probably not your swadharma. You don't need to worry as long as you feel the harmony within yourself.
Yeah, in this context only, there were some people, let's say, even if they abuse me for a wrong reason or right reason, I don't even pay attention. The guys who were around me, that guy said like this, did you hear? I would say, well, let him say whatever he wants to say, but I didn't pay attention at all to those things. And there is no the argument or anything there. I just walk away from that. And that also, till they point out somebody else who listens to that, let's say me and my colleague are there or a friend, and the third person said something to me in a bad way, let's say, I just don't even react or reply to them. I just walk away from them. Oh, okay, like that. That when they tell me that this is what it is said, oh, he said like that. Let him say whatever he wants to say. I don't care at all, and I didn't hear. Therefore, as long as I don't hear that, I'm not bothered. Like that, I feel, and that I think sometimes people will think that this guy does not have any ego or anything like that. They keep commenting, but still I do not pay any attention to those words at all.
But the
So
quick question is, when
Yeah.
you don't hear, is your mind wandering elsewhere or the mind thinking of nothing?
my main thing is why you want to hear this when he talks negative about you. If you
That is
hear,
fine. Yeah.
if you hear that, you need to reply, and that goes into a circle of arguments. So leave it there. Whatever he feels, it's his prerogative. Like that, it tells me, and then I leave it.
Do you know Gandhiji's 3 monkeys?
No.
You don't.
Yeah, I
Actually,
know
what
that,
it
but
is one
no,
of
I
them is
don't have
like
them
this.
on my table. I mean,
No, one of this is like this, the
Yeah.
other is like this, and the other is like this.
Okay.
So that's what you're describing. That is the nature in which you want to be. That is, don't hear anything unwanted, don't see anything unwanted, and don't speak anything unwanted.
But you have to listen to your wife.
Yeah.
My wife is commenting. I have to listen to her. In spite of- Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're right.
So
So
actually
there is
what
no,
he,
you mean to say that there is no issue with that kind of behavior. Thank you.
so I was saying, I mean, you said challenging question. I feel what you're meaning really is an appropriate question. And when there is an appropriate question, you answer. When you think such a question doesn't need an answer, you just ignore. That's what I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah. But people around try to tell you all these things. Then I realize, oh, they said like this. Okay, what can I do? I don't know what to do. Leave it there. Let it go. That is how I approached it, because I was trained by my father like that ever since childhood. So I faced those things right from my childhood. Therefore, it became a routine. So I leave it there. Then another thing is, if no one has question, then I'll take. Otherwise, let others ask. In the end, I'll ask. If time
I
is.
had my late brother-in-law, my sister who is Lakshmi's husband, he was like that. If he doesn't have to answer a question, he will just keep quiet. He won't answer. He will just ignore. Right, Akka?
Yes, 10%.
And this led to one habit, sir. When I'm into the work or something, the surroundings, even the guys sitting next to me, even if they talk, it won't get into my head. That is it a problem of not paying attention, or it is simply ignoring?
No,
That's
it is
what I'm not able
intense
to
concentration. Intense concentration.
So these need not be corrected at all.
No.
80% of the people like you only. If you are interesting, you can do it, then only you'll take attention. Otherwise, no.
Rajanji, I have a
Okay.
question. Can I go ahead?
Sure.
Uh, I do my pray every day morning. I have a routine set of prayers that I do before I start any work. I don't pay any attention. I want to do yoga. I mean, I am little bit, I was trained in little bit yoga and meditation. I stopped doing it. And I am only on this set of prayers I hold on to. When people say, what is your prayer going to do to you? You have to do these practices and all that. I get little, I'm not confused. Am I on the right path? That I am very convinced with the prayer I do, or should
When you're doing the prayer, are you seated somewhere in front of the lamp, or are you doing other things as you say the prayer?
I am seated in front of the lamp in my puja room. I finish. I don't ask for something, give me this, give me that, but without saying those Tirvasanam and all, I don't start the day. Very rarely I break it.
But when you do it over there, your mind is fully concentrated. You feel very happy, right?
I feel happy.
Very nice.
I
So
feel
when you're
happy.
fully focused over there and you're only doing this thing, and your mind is happy, that itself is a form of yoga. In the sense, what has happened is you've brought your mind to one particular spot, you're not letting it wandering. I know some people who think it is very important to do their chanting, and they will be doing their whatever shloka or chanting, and while they are doing, they're walking about the house doing this, that, and this thing. That has no benefit.
I stopped doing all that a little bit. Okay, I have to sit, concentrate, and all that is there. But sometimes my mind wanders. But I'm sitting there and doing it. I wander, then I get back to what I'm doing. Should I stop with this, or should I continue to go on to do meditation? Like,
see, what happens is anything that brings you harmony within you is really the step for meditation. You see, the best way to understand the quality of meditation and how it works is actually from the Chandogya Upanishad, first chapter, first section. It basically says when the Rik and Sama are in balance and you invoke the Udgita, you reach the highest. The Udgita is essentially Omkara. So what is the Rik and Sama? Rik is basically the vibration that brings, the vibration that connects you into beyond the physical body, that intense concentration that goes. The Sama is the body-mind balance in there within you. So the Sama is attained when you do some pranayama exercise, when you do some motion and you are internally focused, the Sama comes. Then after that you do whatever is suitable for you that will eliminate you. Actually, the word Rik in this context is what is called the equal and opposite mantra, or the vibration of your body's and mind system's natural vibration. So if you apply an equal and opposite vibration, silences everything and lifts you up. And then, of course, finally the Omkara, when that purified state leads you to the highest. So for each person, particularly if they don't have a personal mantra, on the other hand, they find there are things that make them the mind calm and less reactive. Then whatever is the practice that they have done, that is quite okay. In fact, I can give you an example of, and in that book, that example is there. There used to be a girl in the University of Maryland where I used to conduct meditation sessions. So this girl used to, every day when she wakes up in the morning, She does not get out of bed. She will reach her hand and play a music, and the same music she had been playing for years after years. And she will be listening to it, and in that state, she transcends. So the thing is, you see, each person finds their own way of doing it. If sitting there in front of your altar and doing your puja, your whatever chantings that you do, Tiruvachakam or Tirumandram, whatever this thing, all of that is fine. It will, if it gives you the peace, the balance within, makes you feel happy, that's a good stepping stone. Continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have
Yes,
a question.
yes.
Okay. So I think that I observe that my karmic pattern has a cycle of repeating the same situation again and again. I felt this 3 times. The first time I was not aware. The second time I felt like the same pattern is repeating again. And after 10 years, I see that I come back to the same situation where I was 10 years back. So this is connected to my decision making, I believe. So I have never thought, I have never had a problem of my decision making. I take a day, even like if I do a shopping, if I do the whole day shopping, but I don't buy anything. I always want to buy the best thing and unique thing, which is cheap, the quality, everything I see. So I never thought it is a problem, but now when I had to take decisions on very important aspects of life, I have a struggle, and there I feel so breakdown about this decision making process. And I also think that this decision making is affecting my karmic cycle, where I always have an attraction of choosing the wrong I wrong thing, or there is no right or wrong, but I'm choosing something which takes me to the trauma, I guess. So so is there anything I can convince myself, or should have a pattern of this decision making? Is there something
Okay.
going
What,
on?
correct me, I'm trying to understand you a little better. What you're doing is you look around, you shop around a lot till you get the best value for what you are looking for, right?
Yes.
So what happens is the key is when you have a need at home and you look around, always look at it this way. You're going to spend some amount of time, and within that, whatever appears the best, take it and move along. So in other words, what happens is, if you're looking for good quality, obviously you won't even consider anything that is of a lower quality. And if you think that the price is 20% more than what you would have normally paid, pay the 20% more and don't worry about it, move along. At least the quality that you paid for, will make you happy. And then the other part of it is sometimes you end up getting something and then you feel this was the wrong thing. That is part of life. In fact, you ask anyone over here, and if you ask them in terms of what percentage of buying decisions they do are not very effective, and you will find among all the purchases we make, at least 20% of what people buy, they usually end up in the trash bin. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, and I don't have any regrets of buying anything. I like even on the purchase or any decisions in my life, I don't have any regrets later. Because I have taken so much effort of taking the decision, I don't feel bad even if somebody comments about it, or I don't feel so
But
great
why do
because
you
I
feel
am
you made a wrong decision?
uh, I haven't thought about the products, but like
You said you
sometimes when I
feel
take
sometimes you made a wrong decision.
yes, when that decision didn't work out in the right direction, and when it creates lot of trouble to me, then I think that decision was not right.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you see, the intuitive way, whatever comes in front of you and within the reasonable amount of time, how they come, if you accept it and go along, analyzing too much, whether this was right, wrong, best, or whatever, may not be the best use of your mind or your time.
Yes, I am not able to escape from that. I'm not getting compromised of that.
Maybe
Reading.
I will throw some light on what Saranya is saying. I think she's saying two things. One is materialistic things that she is buying. Then I think she's also talking about some personal relationship where she had made some mistakes or whatever. So, is that right, Saranya? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Both things you're
Yeah.
saying. So, this relationship thing that she's talking about is over a period of time, 5 years, 10 years, and then she finds out that's the wrong person with whom she has related. And then she has to move away or whatever it is. So, that's what she's talking about in longer terms.
Well, Sharanya, you want to answer, is it about material things or people relationship? Which is when you're...
Material things has not affected me, but the relationships is affecting me for the decision makings.
You see, what happens is life is like that. The key thing is anytime you interact with people, that interaction is part of your karmic forces that brings these people to you and things like that. And if you simply accept them and don't worry further, then life can move on to some degree. But if you find something is completely intolerable, you have to let it go. So and when you let it go, there cannot be any regrets and thinking back. But the thing is, the reality of it is life is only like that. You see, even if you have a relationship and it breaks, when you let it go, you should have the thing that when you meet the person again somewhere else, you should be able to smile and say hello. There should be no negativity harboring within you.
I'm able to do that, but I feel like even in the future, uh, I have difficulty in making decisions about. I don't know how I'm going to handle that.
Well, do more meditation, it will guide you.
Okay, thank you.
I've experienced it. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Madhavi. Yes.
I in Saranya's situation, I have been a very, very long years ago, almost 25 years ago. Now, I always feel I've let go everything. I don't have anything in my heart and never, I don't hold or never discuss about it. It is the past and I accepted it is as my karma. And I was able to go through it with the guidance that I received from the above. So I surrendered and totally believed in him. So the guidance I got was in the right way. So I've been guided. I'm very happy with what decision I made. When I meet that person, even today, I'm very well able to handle things. So it is your belief and how you take the decision, whatever decision you take, you are responsible and you should know to handle it. And I think if you believe in the guidance of God, I think you will receive it. I believe in the concept. If one door is shut, he always opens two. It is up to us to see and take the guidance.
So we see Madhavi has her hand up. So
Yes.
Saranya is good.
Yes, yeah.
So where are you located, Saranya?
Yes, sir.
Tampa, Florida.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
He lives very close to the New Tampa Library.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Rajan was there yesterday, Saranya.
And
Oh,
I was
okay.
waiting for you. You did not come.
Oh, okay.
I posted all that in our chat where he's going to
Oh,
be all these 3 days. Anyway,
okay.
All 3 days. Today we have the interaction with him. Is there any other place he's going to have?
no, sorry, I should have said three appointments on 2 days, Friday evening, Saturday morning, and Saturday evening. Today he's leaving for Orlando.
Yeah, only in the afternoon.
Okay.
So in the morning, I'm going to go for a quiet walk now after this.
Are you going to be in the New Tampa area so we can do some star watching like a paparazzi? We can follow you.
I don't know whether New Tampa is going to be on the way to Orlando, but I'll probably be leaving somewhere around noon or so to go towards Orlando.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, you will pass by New Tampa on your way to Orlando. You have to cut through New Tampa to get to Orlando.
Okay.
But yeah, but noon is not a good time to take a walk anyways with the heat.
So Madhaviji has a question.
Yes, sir. I remember everything in like from 10 years onwards. I remember each and every instant that happened in my life, like good or bad. But I'm trying to forget the little bit bad instance. But when the day comes, like suppose like May 15th, some bad thing happened in my life when I was like 13 or 14. From May 1st onwards, it comes into my mind. So, okay, May 13th, that thing happened in your life. Like I won't cry or anything, but it will keep on reminding me the date, like 15 days before that day or anything. So, what is the solution to forget this kind of things, sir?
Well, it has to fully leave your system. That is why you remember it each time.
Mhm.
So I'll give you an example.
Mhm.
You see, we had a case where a lady had a husband whose blood pressure was completely uncontrolled, and both of them were doctors, and it was jumping all over the place. If the blood pressure came below 150, the husband would not have any strength, vitality to do anything. And the other side is if they were not watchful on the dosage of the medication, it would go up to 200. And so every 2 hours the wife was taking the blood pressure of the husband and managing everything. Then during COVID time, the husband passed away, and the lady, every day in the morning, she was so attached to her husband. She visualizes her husband is right over there in front of her. When she wakes up, she does a namaste, and she feels he's also doing namaste back to her. And then she goes about her life, and every day at night before going to sleep, she thinks of her husband. And what happened is, without even realizing, the husband's health issue that he had, and she has no history of it, suddenly her blood pressure is also going all over the place. Okay. So what happens is, when I met her, I told her how we let go of the spirits whom we attach to. You see, this is the way in which you give tarpana. Right in between your thumb and index finger, you mentally offer and say, I'm giving this to that soul. Now, please, may you be released, may you get moksha, and let all your attachments die away. May you get moksha, you let go. So, similarly, maybe you can give tarpana to all your thoughts and let it disappear out of your system.
Did you understand, Madhavi? You're muted.
Yes, sir, I
See,
understand.
what happens is reminders come because of regrets. The regrets too, you have to let go.
Mhm. Okay. Means not only mine, like my sibling things also, like so and so year we visited each other. Dates also I remember.
So all of that you have to let go. You see, I'm one person who doesn't take any photographs. Others take photograph of me and they send it to me. But I don't take any photographs. I don't carry any memories. In the sense, sometimes when I see people after a long time, I may remember them. But on the other hand, I don't associate with negative memory, positive memory. You have to just let go. How does it matter?
Mhm. Okay, sir. Yeah, one more question is regarding you. Oh, done. Okay.
Go ahead.
Right.
Ask.
Oh, yeah, final question, sir. Normally, when we do good karma and bad karma, we will reborn. So after joining in this Patanjali classes, I came beginning onwards, I didn't do any harm for anybody. But if we stop doing bad karmas, even small things, do all good karmas, we will born again, because they say Manava Janma is the best Janma. So if you do all good karmas, we will born again in good family, or we will have very good and best life. When it comes to moksha and kaivalyam, I am happy to take the moksha and kaivalyam, but doing good karmas, we will born again as a good family. Life is beautiful, we can enjoy it. So I'm thinking, don't do bad karmas, and I want to reborn again with good life. And right now my life is good, but not even small problems.
Yes.
These good
So
things.
you have a lot of attachments. You like all the things. So all these good karmas you think of, but that's not the nature of the yogi. The yogi doesn't care for any association with any action. So there is no good or bad in any action. So there are no karmas. So you have answered your own question. So you should do what makes you happy. Right?
Okay.
It looks like Srilata has a question and we are running
Yeah.
out of time. So go ahead, Srilata.
Oh, sorry. You're able to.
Yeah.
Namaste.
I put
Namaste.
one question in chat.
Okay, this is in connection to what you were just telling, Madhavi. I have lost my mother and my brother within in 2018 and 2019. I don't believe in keeping their photographs at home. But whoever visits my home, they keep telling you have to keep your ancestors' photographs and you have to offer them flowers and light a lamp. They say otherwise I will be invoking Pitru Karma. But basically, personally, I don't believe in that. I believe they have gone and we should just let them go and not bother them. Is it true? I sometimes get very confused when people come and accuse me. They say you're so cold. He's your brother. She was your mother. How you could not keep their photos in the house? So
They are
I
not
don't.
yogis. Don't listen to them.
Okay. Okay. So it's okay if I don't keep them, and I don't
Yes,
believe in
we have to
bothering
let
them.
everything pass. It is
Okay.
okay if you have it. It's okay you don't have it. But if you have it over there, as people sometimes have, the key is basically it shouldn't affect your mind space. So not having is even better.
Okay. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. So you're muted. We're not able to hear you.
I'm not muted. Oh, yes.
Oh, I am muted. Sorry. Subramanian ji has a question. He says, reading your book will help for sure, but picking some interesting topics needs a guru. Are there any classes taught by you, Dr. Rajan? That's his question.
Oh, actually, every fall we do a course called Yoga Concepts, a master class in Yoga Concepts, where the first four sessions are the Yoga Sutras, and then the next 5 sessions are called Mechanism of Yoga, which talks about the Nadi Chakra system and how the communications happen. And after that comes the pranayama, then hatha yoga, then Tantra Yoga, and last of all, meditation. So these are the 9 sessions we do. Each session is 3 hours long. So it starts end of October, I believe the last weekend of October, and it goes all the way till before Christmas. So that is a place we do. Now, I have not really thought about this in this way, but you see, if you like, maybe we can create a session where every weekend, maybe like this time, the morning or something, we can have a conversation, and where we can discuss examples, questions, if that is helpful. Let me think about it. And I will let Kumar know, and if something works out, we can arrange it.
Okay.
Yeah, when we attempt these things, right, if we start in right way, it will stay perfectly. Otherwise, correcting later will be difficult. That's why I asked this question. Thank you very much, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rajan.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, Dr. Rajan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan, for your time.
Thank you very
Namaste.
much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan. Namaste.
Namaste.
Only we are here.
I think Sar will be there, I thought, but he left.
Both Kumars, yeah, Rajan sir and Kumar sir dropped away.
Left.
So Subramanyam Garu, I have a question for you. You told your daddy gave some advice, and that is why you carry on in the office like that. What is that advice?
Well, see, okay, this is the best thing. What a question you asked, really. It made me to recall my. Yeah. And just wait. This is the question that really recalls my childhood. See, my surname, if you see, right, how many Telugu people are there? I don't know.
Kapaguntula.
Kapagantula means what? A frog that jumps. You
Huh?
know, frog jumping. So frog jumping in the school, let's say, I don't know in Tamil what they call kappa, but it is like a animal, small that creature, animal, right? That jumping, that is what our surname is, right? Family name. So in the school, everybody used to call me kappa.
Oh.
Which I hated. I hated like anything during the school time. Let's say, don't take it otherwise. When you go into intermediate or something like that, you are in a co-education school, then what will happen is these guys deliberately will call in front of a girl, Kappa, come here, like that. So I used to react during earlier, like in high school and all, very much. And I was weakest guy, because the people who study hard, they won't pay for these fights and all, right? So I go and fight with them and get beaten up solidly again. So 2 ways I am getting beaten up. One is mentally, another is physically. So then what I used to do is I used to come back and cry and don't speak to my dad or mom or anybody. Then my dad noticed what's going on with this fellow. He's always sad, but he does his work. Shall I leave him like that or something? He was thinking. And one day he called me and he said, talk to me. And I didn't talk. Then he said, I'll slap you if you don't talk. So still I didn't talk. Then he really got angry on me. And then he made me to speak by beating me or whatever it is. Then he said, whoa, that is silly thing. You are not, what are you? He asked. I'm so-and-so. That means you are a human being, right? They're calling with some name. Why do you bother? They'll call you for 100 times, one day, today, tomorrow, like that, 100 days they call. You ignore 100 times, then mouth will pain. After that, what will happen? They'll stop calling you. And it happened like that. They started calling me Subbu after 3 or 4 months. And instead of Subramanyam, it became Subbu. And it carried out all the way throughout my work or everywhere. So that that lesson that my dad taught me has really impact on my behavior. Then I saw, okay, what my dad is saying is correct. Ignore is the best solution for all this, like that. And when I used to play cricket at almost H division in Bombay, that time also when they try to provoke you to get out of your concentration, nothing used to happen to me. I keep on scoring runs like that. I was a very good cricketer at the inter-university level and all. And that is where the real strength of my focus developed. But I was not happy that I'm not able to focus on everything, but people around me are saying, because other people are listening, and I won't pay even a single time any attention to that. That's what it bothered me, because right from childhood you cultivated this habit, and this habit has gone. And these are the things. Like the other day I was telling my wife that I'm standing near the door. It was raining like anything. My lovely plants fell down on the deck. Then I told my wife, see, I do Rudram, and Rudram controls nature. I'll ask rain to stop. Let's see, what does it do? I asked 2 minutes, it stopped. It stopped completely. Then I went and put the plants properly, came back, again it started raining. Oh, this power is there. Why did I test? I lost my power, I was thinking. Like that. So the focus, as Sumati told, right? Believe in something that you really believe in it. That's it. Last but not least is not to, I don't speak about this. I was in Madurai Meenakshi temple a few years back along with my friend. We went from Bangalore overnight and we wanted to go to Rameshwaram and all by car, and we were going. At the time, this man and me were walking, and I was completely focused on Rudram. Every time, almost it will come, anytime it will be running in my mind. That is another thing why I ignore people probably. So it was running, and then I went into that temple, right? Sundareshwar Swami temple, you would have visited, right? So I was surprised. I'm seeing Lord Shiva sitting there on that, where the idol is there, right? The Shivalingam. I didn't see, I was saying, in Shiva temple, I was telling my friend, in Shiva temple, normally Shivalingam will be there. Why Lord Shiva is there? He says, that is Shivalingam, sir, he was saying. No, I don't see that. Till I went near to the, just where we see finally the deity, right? Till that place I went, I did not see anything other than just Lord Shiva there. Even the, what you call, the priests are not seen there. Then I looked, I looked at it. Then I found that Shivlingam. Oh, I lost. I'm a fool. I got really a good darshan of Lord, and this is where I lost it. I talked, and instead of observing him, I felt bad. And then again, I went inside. You know, if you give 500 bribe, right, they'll take you, and there you can sit inside in one corner and you do puja. You do your Rudram again. So I sat there for 30 minutes and then came out. He let me be there because another 500 you give, $1,000 you give him, he'll let you. That's what it happened, which is a wrong thing I did. Therefore, I thought, okay, all good things I did are lost by paying this bribe. Later on, I realized it. So anyway, not to talk too much about it, this is what it is. So the childhood criticism led to this situation. Yeah.
It's a beautiful, very beautiful advice. Probably I'll tell my kids also this.
Oh, definitely.
It's
definitely.
a very great lesson to take. And Sharanya, I wanted to tell something, but I didn't want to interfere on Rajan sir's time, right? So I come from the tradition of like Ramana Maharshi, right? Like I follow his teachings. So I was also like you, right? Like wanting only the best. It's called purest attitude, right? Like you use all your faculties to get the best out of any situation, right? Like about a relationship or but even though in life, what Ramana Maharshi teaches is that even though you use all your faculties and you actually think that because of your decision making, you actually chose something, you ultimately choose something that is only destined for you. It only looks like you have used all your faculties, and then the responsibility totally lies on you, right? So I used to have a lot of regrets also. Oh, I didn't choose this right thing. I should have done this. I should have done that. But then when this teaching, I understood this teaching, right? Like it looks as though that you have made the decision, right? Like considering the pros and cons, and then you have chosen a decision. It's ultimately like we call in Tamil praptam. I don't know if you know that word, that
Yeah,
whatever is there in your praptam or whatever there is in your destiny, that's what you will choose. So just accept every good, bad, and ugly things or relationships that come to you because it is destined in your path.
Okay. I feel like yes, whatever you say is right, but also we hear that what we make is our karma or our life, right? Whatever we take decisions, if you take a decision with some little awareness, then it might change your path or something like that. So if you have two choices, and if I take the one this side, I feel like that had caused all these um like and what do you call, like the suffering. But if I take the right side, if I would have chosen that, then it would have been in a different direction maybe. So every time when it happens like that, not every time, most of the times, um, I don't have any regrets of choosing things, but the relationships or some like emotional aspects, that is where I think I get attracted to the same karmic
Patterns.
patterns.
Yeah, maybe that's what is meant to be. So don't beat yourself up. Oh God, I choose that one. I choose this one, right? Don't beat
No,
yourself up.
I'm not doing that, but I'm thinking in future, how do I handle this
I
from,
see.
I'm not blaming myself, I'm not hurting myself or feeling bad, but if I could direct this in a different way, can I do something different? Because my car patterns are like very, very strong that I tend to get attracted to the suffering way instead of when it looks nice, but when you go inside, it is suffering. But when on the right side, even though if it doesn't look good, if you travel inside, maybe it will be pleasant. But I'm not able to accept that even now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there are, as far as I have understood, right? Like in my life, I have lived at least like I'm 50 plus, right? So I however I have understood, there is no foolproof way to make a right choice. You and because of Ramana Maharishi's teaching, right, I understood that the onus doesn't lie on you. So the choices are actually made for you. Like it is like the destiny that takes you to make a particular choice, and there is no foolproof way to make the right choice, or like what you call as the right choice. But whatever has happened in your life is actually the right choice made by divine will.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds very soothing to me. Hope.
Exactly. I mean, when I understood this, and it is not that I remember this all the time, right? But I try whenever I'm in like good sense and not in the midst of problems, I remember this and I am at peace. It is the divine will that makes all the choices that I've gone through in your life. So that's why many people used to say, how come I cannot choose this? No, I should be able to choose this. This is my life. I have chosen this. I have lived this life. But for me, this aspect, how you said, oh, it is a very soothing. For me, it's a big relief. It is like very soothing for me that actually the onus is not on me. That doesn't mean that like, see, there are like, some people say, yeah, everything is done by God, but you also have, there are no ways of like, but you have 20% will and 20% choice, and then believe that 80% is done by God. There is no division like that. God lives through you. You are like one of the expressions of the divine will. And then we are lived through. I mean, it's all like too much philosophical. Don't worry about any of that. You just think that it's all destiny, and then all choices in your life that happens and will happen are also by divine will. So just live your life shanti in peace.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this helps a lot. Thank you.
So Subramaniam garu, Madhavi garu, you have a question? You want to talk?
Me, yeah, I just, 1 second. Saranya, everything we will get through as we age, we will learn more and more. I know you are pretty younger, so we will go through so many things in this country, being no family, only husband, wife, kids, that's it. If we have extended family like own brother or something, you can talk to them and take some suggestion. But if you don't have family, you will suffer more in this country. But only thing we have to remember is we have to learn slowly. With as we age, we learn more and more. That's what I learned.
And leave everything to God, like surrender at the feet of God. If you believe in God, everything will be taken care.
I totally believe.
That is the only way to go. That's the only way to go.
I always feel he's brought me to this level. He will still take me up.
You want this?
Aranya, are you okay, ma?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, Subramaniam garu, I have another question for you because I have heard you talk about a lot of like office stuff, like how you deal with people and all that. So there's like the current manager in my group, right? Like she's constantly, she used to be like, we were very good friends in the beginning, and then she was teaching me a lot of things. And once I got to know and I have learned things, when I'm in a situation, I also learn things organically. And one point came where like I know more about everything, and people are like contacting me, and I don't know why. This is my prediction that at that time her behavior started to change. Like she started to become like very critical of me and forcing me to teach whatever I know to my peers, right? My peers are supposed to learn the same way I'm learning, but whatever I have learned, like she forced me to, it's not like a request. I work for a Californian company, so usually you're not supposed to like even talk harshly to your reportees, right? Whoever is reporting to you have to like treat them with utmost respect and request. And the company I work for, they practice collegiality, which means even managers cannot talk in a particular way to the person who is reporting to you. So she used to treat with like utmost disrespect and all that. And then suddenly, like just this April or March, around that time, she changed. Like she's like, oh yeah, we had some misunderstanding going on, but now it is all okay. I don't know how it became okay, because I'm exactly the same way that I am before, right? And then there was another person who came, and she's like a DBA. She's also like a like Indian. We are all Indian. My manager is also Indian. This lady is also Indian. And then I see her now. Her focus is shifted on her, and I see her also treating like that, right? Treating her like that. And in my office, like when I see that, like, am I supposed to say something? Am I supposed to tell my director, this manager has a problem? Like, I used to think when she's treating me, maybe I did some mistake. Maybe like there's something in me, and I see that, okay, she's treating her also like that, little bit rudely and little bit unjust way. What am I supposed to do? Just ignore and let the DBA take care of that and be happy that, okay, she's no more targeting me, or like, should I take some action? Like, I can't hear you. You are on mute.
Yeah. So because me and my wife are sitting in the same room, there will be echo. So that's why I was checking with my wife whether she muted or not. So this is called sense of insecurity, right? At manager level, let's say it's whether it's a technical level or in a administrative portion or project lead or in any project manager. Most of the project managers have this phobia. What I call it as phobia. So the what one should advocate as a manager is harmony. That's what I feel. So harmony is nothing but everybody is equal and everybody has a voice to say in the meeting, not behind anybody. Suppose we 4 by 7 people are there in this meeting, and you come and tell me about Srilata, that she is like this, that, and all. First of all, if the manager has some sense, he should try to avoid that. Because first I need to, first thing I will do is psychologically you have a problem. If you complain on your colleague, or whatever, it may be genuine, but it's the manager's issue to find out. Why I say this is, I had a guy called, I'll name him also, Akim Hacker is my manager. Okay. What this guy at the year end will do is, he'll call 5 or 6 people. At least one guy was his associate right hand, I would call it. And I don't want to be right hand to anybody.
Absolutely.
At any time, not even now also. I'm not a right hand to anybody. I don't care at all. But that is a different issue. But this guy used to have one guy called Indian. An Indian digs is not only his own grave, but also digs others' grave also. He'll successfully do that, he or she, and let's not only say he, they will do that, and later on they'll fall into that pit. There is no doubt about it. If not today I may be flying high, tomorrow it is ready for you. That is unknown to them, but they'll fall. That is the nature, how the nature works. So this guy, during my year-end review, which normally takes around 2 hours or 1.5 hours at the most. So first half an hour, we talk all casual things. After 1 hour, half an hour, we'll start talking very seriously. During that time, what he will do is, in between, he'll try to, how is that guy doing? I need some feedback on him. Then I used to laugh. I did not answer. I never answered. And I used to laugh. Then he says, no, I want, because he's working closely with you and you're monitoring him. I said, I'm not monitoring, I'm working closely with him is right. Beyond that, monitoring and all, it's not my duty, it's your duty. That's what, for which you are being there and you are being paid. I'm not being paid for that. I'm not getting any extra bonus or anything to do this. And you expect me to report on people. I'm the least and last guy to ask for. And I don't even used to speak. Even if he threatens me, I'm prepared. I will not talk anything about the third party. That's what my principle is, and I will not talk. And he tried many, many times. Not even a single word about anybody, it used to come, except for interns, because I used to have at least per year 15 to 20 interns are there, and where I feel responsible for them, out of which 3 or 4 I might recommend them to hire, and all 3 or 4 whomever I recommend will be hired by the company. Then he used to say, for interns, we will give a feedback. Why can't you give feedback on your colleague? This is what the word we use in office, colleague, no friendship. So that is the first fundamental thing that I realized is, ever since I started working, there is no friend. I told Sharanya also, there is no friend in office. Remember that. Everybody is watching you, and how do they take over your position? That is the competition that is there, and that competition is good. Do not take it as negative sense. When you compete, you deliver your best. When you don't compete, you'll be lethargic, lazy, and you'll not have pressure. Competing in positive sense, I'm saying, right? These backstabbers are part and parcel of Indian culture. Or any, because we are Indians, we talk about ourselves. We don't talk about others. So our culture is that, and right from the school onwards, if you get good marks, the next guy will be envying you. There is no, we were not taught how to appreciate the other guy. That is the problem, first of all. Therefore, we carried all this in our roots, and thereby we try to apply on others. So I used to feel that if it is his problem, it is his problem to deal, right? So secondly, coming back to the other point, that your manager is acting whenever they feel that sense of insecurity, these things they will do. Okay, this is my level of knowledge, and this person is gaining more and more, and one day or other I'll get exposed, right? How do I bring her down? Or she should not be the star. So what shall I do? Bring everybody to her level, and she cannot say that she is capable of doing this and all. Let's say a critical project comes in your case, and that project you are the well qualified, but she would not like to give it to you because you are getting limelight. Which I as a manager, I do that. I used to do that, let's say. But my intention is get best out of everybody, and who is best suitable guy, give him the credit and let him move on. Why should I block? And if I block, he will move away and he'll get his recognition. This lesson I learned it by hard way. When I was working in one company, I was having a guy who was good but arrogant, very, very arrogant. You ask a question, you'll recklessly used to reply. Then I had really thought of this fellow, and I need to put him in place, I thought, and I did not give him review bell. Okay, during that time. Then that guy moved out of my department, and he was the other manager where he moved out. He was reporting to me, you told me that this guy is arrogant. Yes, he's arrogant, but he does good work. Then I told him, you can accept his arrogance. I could not accept, because his arrogance is spoiling the entire team. Therefore, I did not accept. That guy said, wow, this is what I did not realize, and I need to watch him. Then I was really feeling sad, because you did not let him flourish here, and when he goes there and you told something about that fellow, that is going to hurt him, right? Definitely that manager will have that already put a bad seed in his head, and it will work like a worm, right? It will keep on expanding. So I thought this is not the way to behave. And again, I went into my art of management books, and I try to see how psychologically I could, because the book will say theory, like I told to our Guruji Narayanan, our Guruji today, that yeah, I read a book, but interpretation of the book might not be right. You and me, or all of us practice that, but it is not going to be the accurate way of doing. And getting trained is better than that. So I went to the book and I tried to find out the use cases, and one of the use cases taught me what I was thinking is right. So thereafter I preached this: never involve in other fellows' conversation, and like reporting good or bad. If he is reporting to you, it's your responsibility to shape him up well. By doing this, whenever I go to Bangalore from here on an official visit, people will come to my hotel in the morning itself to do breakfast, and they'll salute to my feet. That kind of respect I gained, to be honest with you. So what I would suggest to you is, this is psychologically, you can win this battle very easily. Any work that comes to you, copy to her saying that this is the approach I'm taking and I would like your blessings. What is there? This is also surrendering, right? And you surrender like this, then what will happen is you'll be the most loyal person. You did not lose anything. All you gained is much more better personal relationship that built. And that stays long. And good memories will last long. A bad memory will impact both of you.
Yeah.
The sufferer is the person who is sensitive. And the managers are not sensitive. They're cutthroat. Because the training that we get are you need to be sensible when you speak, but you need to act tough when it is needed. That is how they train in a management training classes. When you become a, let's say, a group manager in whatever, a director or a prospective, let's say I'm going to be, my boss identified I'm going to be a prospective director. Then I need to go through HR some training, which they pay for it and I need to go through. During those classes, what they teach is most of the stuff is psychological. How to deal with a person psychologically rather than mentally. Do not be considerative on anybody, on any colleague. But the managers will follow exactly opposite. They'll always have a pet. In my review for my manager, I wrote, this guy, about my manager, I wrote, because it's anonymous. I said, this man has only one eye. That eye always looks at this guy, right? And it is unfair to do like this. And if this is the manager, this sort of manager is going to lead us, the output that we are producing will not be qualitative. Therefore, it's ideal to replace him with somebody who is capable of. I clearly wrote. And this guy, when the review of the employee feedback was there, right, direct reports feedback, he brought that sentence out. Who reported like this? I said, it is anonymous, right? Nobody will speak, I believe. And I told first. Then he said, okay. Then another thing there, the ignorance on my part, I will say, is the language in which we write.
They can
Because
identify.
we communicated several emails with him, right? That's foolish on my part. And he knows this fellow's language is this. So he could understand, right? Oh, this guy wrote. And then on one-on-one, he asked me, why did you, I believe you wrote like that. He could not say that, why did you write? I said, maybe, I said.
Is it true? Is it true? You should have asked. Maybe or may not be, but is it true? They will never accept.
No, the confrontation came, right? Now you face it. What's there? What's big deal? And if he complains on me, I'll go to HR. How did it become like this? And why did he point out to me? Did you guys have really anonymous survey or not? That is the question that I'm going to ask HR. But he asked me, maybe I said, oh, that means you wrote. I didn't say that. I said. Then he said, why you are like that? We see that everything that we speak about a project or anything that comes to you and you ask, and who is the culprit? This guy went out of the department and came back and you still give him number one. This is unfair. Not only me, everybody, every employee that reports to me also feeling this. So therefore it is written there. Then you know what is the impact of it. I don't know, I said. I'm going to be removed soon as your boss, you know. I said, then that is good for you. That's all. Because I was trained to be cutthroat. So I said, it's good for you and good for me because maybe another manager might be better than you. I said, oh, you are so optimistic. I should be, right? I told. Then the conversation went out. And there is one more thing, right? During these reviews, we should not be afraid that year's raise will be impacted or bonus will be impacted. See, that year by doing chimchafying to that guy, your bonus is not affected. But you need to put this crap for another 2 years, right? Is it worth it for you? That is how I took it and I went in and attacked him.
Mm.
And it went out. But you need to be constructive and very careful. So instead of doing this attacking way, what you do is you polish him by saying that, send me a mail. This is what I'm planning to do. I seek your advice. If or an approval from you, whether it's appropriate or not, then her ego will be up. As long as you keep that manager's ego up, you're safe. If you play on the other side, you need to battle it out, which will carry into your head and whatever meditation that we
I'm
are
not
planning to do.
interested in battling.
Yeah. Therefore, it's ideal to copy.
Okay.
Everything that you do, take it. Same question was asked by one of my, whom I mentored. His name is Matthew Berry. When I joined with SAP, he was an youngster, 4 years of experience. Last thing I'll tell you. This guy joined with a company called Wawa. He left our company and joined. And he was my most, I would say, in terms of delivery, right? Technically very strong guy, very strong. He has complete understanding of the subject. And when he left, I felt bad also. That guy said, Subra, I do everything. My manager is complaining something or other. I was in Las Vegas lecturing on some topic. Then he called me during the evening. I said, I'm in Las Vegas. What's the issue? No, I have very big issue here. I wanted to quit this company and I need your advice urgently. And I said, man, you bought a home, you have bills to pay. You have 2 children and wife to feed, right or wrong? Yes. So you need to continue in the job. Immediately you don't find a job. So what is the question? What is the answer here is you need to mitigate this. How do you mitigate? Whatever I told you saying. Keep her here, keep that lady's ego high. What is there? Every time you go, whenever you get a chance, I sent you this email. What's your opinion? Shall I proceed like this, that, and all? You keep talking, open up. Then what will happen is she has to speak. And when she has to speak, she has to give you a direction. And when the direction is given, she is happy. That means you are not outsmarting her or doing anything. Therefore, you'll be treated well. He worked on that for 2 months. And after that, man, this is a sigh of relief, really. And there are 2 points that I learned in my life. Neither my mother or father are taught to me. One, I told him is, as soon as you close the door of office, when you come, all the thoughts about the office are left there. We don't carry it home. Because he was trying to discuss with me for a couple of days. I told him, why are you talking all these things? Leave them there. We close up the door. That means it's over. We don't have any connection with office, now with family. Second thing. That is what I told. That he remembered. He said, I'm practicing that, and it gave me a lot of peace. Number 2, with the manager, how to deal with this. You told me, I practiced it. Now the manager likes me so much. I said, see, the threat is gone. See, this is how you mitigate it. Complaining will not result anything, and you'll become unhappy later on. Yeah.
Right. So when you complain also, then the director is what I have to talk to, right? I mean, we have like very friendly group. I can talk to the director talks to me frequently. But the thing is that when anybody complains about anybody, like whether it is justified or not, they become little bit uncomfortable with us. Do you understand what I mean? So I was not wanting to do that. But yeah.
There are another thing, there are chain of thoughts that will come. If I complain on you, right? And what will happen is, tomorrow another guy comes, again I complain. So that fellow, the manager psychology about you will be, what he will thinking is, there is a theory X and theory Y characters that described by McGregor. If you fall in theory Y, you are done. You need to leave the organization. If you are in theory X, you can question, right? But you should not, your questioning should not impact others. As long as you question like that, you'll be fine. But if it is impacting others, 1 or 2 cases, it will become a habit whenever you find fault. And our job is to find fault also. We try to accuse other guys for the things that they did wrong. But what I did wrong, I don't expose. right? That is also there. That is our psychology. I should always be looking good. But whenever I start meeting, I tell in the meeting, this is what I didn't do right. And I need to work on it and I make it correct. That's what I tell him. The other day, my wife was asking, why are you apologizing for something? Yeah, she have overheard me. I said, that is my mistake. And I'm proud to announce that I did a mistake here. Rather than covering it up, I accept it. Therefore, it is out of my head, right? And if I shield it, how long I can shield it? That's what it is. So the simple thing is keep her in loop on everything, and she'll be one day after 15 days or so, you're copying me everything. No, you should know it. It is my responsibility to let you know, because you are so busy with others as well. I cannot come and explain to you every minute. It's ideal to put it in writing and show it, leave it to you, so that whenever you get leisure, you'll read. Therefore, if you have questions, you'll come back to me. That is better, I thought. And that way your time is utilized much better. What do you think? Or her ego will go up by 2 more inches. That's fine. Leave it there. Psychology, just play on other fellows' psychology, because we are learning all these things. We are trying to leave everything, right? So, okay, this also left. That's it. All right.
Okay.
Sorry to take so much time to answer.
Oh my God, you're like a management guru. You should actually write a book.
Oh no, I wrote in technical books. Sorry. I wrote 2 technical books.
No,
but they were
technical
not...
books, like we can get many inputs from many people, right? But the management side, like I think you should also jot down your thoughts if you have like time.
Yeah, I don't put me in the sky. Leave it there. Let me be on the ground. Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question.
Compliments.
I have one more question if you have time.
Yeah.
Do you have time? Or
Yeah.
so there is another, my colleague, right? Another engineer who works with me. He wants to learn from me. Okay. Bottom line is like he wants to learn from me, but it comes off as though like he's entitled to learn, right? And it's my responsibility to teach, even though we are peers. And that culture is cultivated partly by the manager, right? So, and then he has an issue of, I don't know if it is insecurity or whatever it is. So he submits all his work to me, and I have to approve, and I have to tell whenever there is a mistake. So I tell, hey, Shri, this is what needs to be done. And then immediately, instead of, okay, just correcting that, he will come back with a justification of what he did right. And then like, it's kind of like an attack on me. Every time I give an input that it's not, oh, you are great. If I give an input like that, he's satisfied. But any small correction I give, he comes back with an attack. So I have to approve all his work and work with him. But still every time it's not like a thankfulness. Okay, you are like guiding me in what I have to do, but with an attack. He just attacks, comes back and attacks. That is like, he cannot accept anything, anybody telling, even if I tell in a very straight way, right? I just say needs change this thing, leave this parameter out. That's it, I say. Then he comes back with some explanation, which is either justified or not justified, or sometimes a lie. He comes back with that. And then I have to deal with it. Like, so every time I interact with him, it ends up a little bit like
Unpleasant.
conflict.
So in those cases, right, if he comes, did you try this? Instead of that way, you put it, did you try this? Maybe it is another school of thought. That's what I thought. Try it out. Try your method, you'll fail. Because failure is going to lead to the success one day, right? You try your way, and if it does not work, let's think about alternative. As if you don't know, you act. That's simple, right? Then what will happen is when it senses that failure there, he'll rush back to you. then you show him the solution, then the value will be really recognized in a practical approach, isn't it? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, I
You
have
don't-
tried that also. Immediately when he feels that I am backing out, he will immediately come running to me. It is almost like a begging, right? Like, no, please tell me. I'm really asking you. Last time when he told that, like, there was a radio button, allow editing from the UI.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be highlighted, right? So I told, hey, this shouldn't be highlighted, and he was like, there is a documentation, and I always try to direct him to the documentation because he can't fight with the documentation, right? This is the
Mhm.
documentation you need to follow. And he's like, oh, why don't you just tell, okay, remove this parameter? And I told, like, you don't advise me on how I should guide you. I will guide you in the way that I want to guide you, right?
Right.
So I don't think, please do not expect me to behave exactly the way you want me to behave, right?
Yeah.
So I should give you the guidance for you to finish your work, and this is the guidance. Are you able to finish the work or not? So then, oh, this radio button is not there in the documentation, but from the way we have worked for 2 years, we know that you should not edit from UI, right? That is the
Mhm.
understanding. So I told, okay, this is my understanding, but then the documentation is written by an architect. I told, why don't you talk to Nick Moore about it? He's the owner of the documentation. Please go ahead and get guidance from him, right? Then he immediately comes back to me begging and pleading. Now I have made all the corrections, like how you wanted me to do. Can I proceed with this or not? Please tell me. I'm asking a genuine question. Like there's no way of getting over with him. I didn't respond to that. So
There is another way. We don't need to see. This is German way. The second way. Whenever these German guys, the colleagues, that they don't want to answer immediately, they'll say that set up a meeting. I'm busy. Look at
Wow.
my calendar. Set up a meeting. Don't come at whatever convenience you have, because I have my priorities on my plate. And if I keep looking at your things, I'm getting delayed, I'm getting pressure, right? Therefore, whenever my calendar is free, you set it up and tell me the subject on which you discuss. Don't send me an email like this to reply to you and advise you, because this will not lead anywhere. The thing is, during my work, while I'm doing this, I see the email by some distraction or other. I might advise you wrongly, which will lead to some other issue. Instead of that, if you set up the meeting for half an hour or 30 minutes, you sit and discuss, and I'll come back after the meeting, after understanding the problem, I'll come back to you with my suggestion. Meanwhile, you can try your approach. So thereby, you are not breaking the ice, you are making it more of official. Thereby, it will become, he will start stopping, he will slowly stop that. Because whenever you ask somebody to set up a meeting, first thing is they hate it. Oh, I need to find a time in his calendar. I will not do that. Ego, right? Personal ego. So thereby what happened, 50% of the problem is solved. Other 50% is, okay, I need to do this. So that means it is really required for him. So then he will set it up. This kind of unnecessary conversations can be just put to the ground, that's it. This is how even my colleagues with whom I need to have meeting, I need to wait for sometimes 2 weeks. Because that fellow says, I'm on vacation this week. Can we talk next week? Simply will write a message. Can we talk? Please find in my calendar. I'll be coming back on August 10th, let's say. August 10th and 11th, I'll be looking into my emails and I'll be attending urgent issues. We'll meet on August 12th. Finished. What you can say there? Nothing, right? Because that is how I learned to deal. And I to do that. If I know something, I'll immediately respond. If I don't know, I'll say that you set up a meeting. And what will happen is I bought some time to read about it. Number one, politically, if you ask, intelligently, you are trying to acquire the knowledge and disseminate in a proper way when you talk, because you don't want to lose the confidence that the other guy has on you. That is another thing, right? If I approach you for a problem, it's a genuine problem, and I come to you, that means you also thought that this needs some investigation. You prepare well and come to that, and you impress me. Then next time I come to you with any other problem, I come with that kind of preparation,
Expectation.
and I expect you to answer. So that is the another approach. That the third approach is, as soon as he sends an email, to put him in right place, copy to manager, finished. Whatever he is going to come back, oh, this is what has been asked, I'm just copying to the manager for her. Put an FYI to the manager name, that's it, finished. I'm just informing you. So then what will happen is, the number of calls that I'm requesting are going to the manager. That means I'm getting exposure. So I'll stop approaching you. That's simple. That's the final weapon you're taking out of all three. And once you do that, definitely it will reduce, because what manager feels is his work you are doing basically. So that he does not like. Then it will be fine.
Okay.
The third approach is the last one. Second approach is the best. Set up meeting, we'll discuss officially, and we'll write down the minutes. Finish. Any other thing?
No, I'll ask you as and when I have. See, I want to work just for 10 years. It is not, I'm kind of in the end of my career. So I just want to work, and I like this job. I like the work that I'm doing. So I want to stick to it, but just managing these people, I have a tough time. So whenever I have questions,
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if at all I know, I will answer with my experiences that I gained.
Thank you so much.
In fact, some of the managers under which I worked, who is now a close friend of mine, and we talked together. He became a LIC board member also. That guy's name is R. Chandrasekhar. During my start of career, I used to feel that I should call somebody and threaten this fellow. He's harassing me like anything. Like that, I used to feel. That guy should. What kind of childish ideas I used to get in Bombay is, somebody I should tell him and pay the money and ask him to tell him that, don't harass Subramaniam. If you harass, I'll harass you in the train. I told this man also when I got a little bit matured of my thinking. Then he started laughing. Wow, that much I harassed, I didn't realize. You should have told me. So you see where you are. He used to say, no, you don't know how much anger everyone in the department had on you. But we love him. He's a good friend of mine. Very nice fellow. I'm looking for another 2 years only. That's why I don't focus on career. I focus on just carrying on for 2 more years. Yeah. After that, I'll go back to India. And
India?
Yeah. See, you'll have a
What about
servant
your
maid and
kids?
a car driver. Wherever you want to go, you go.
What about your kids?
They will, see, you are in Patanjali class, right? Once they are in their life, we should not interfere into their life. We come and see them, okay, once in a while, but that's enough. We cannot expect them to stay with us. Neither they will expect, because they were brought in America.
No, but what about their kids? When we think that, okay, here, right, when I gave birth to the kids, my mom came and stayed with me for 3 months, and that's all they were able to support. I took a break in my career because I wanted to take care of my kids, and then I rejoined back in my career, right? So,
but when we were born, ask yourself a question. When we were born, who supported your mother? None. For my mother, none. If you give birth to, I tell my son and daughter-in-law, the elder one, If you give birth to the child, if you know what is the responsibility that you need to take, what additional work is there without depending on others, then you go for the kids. Otherwise, till you get prepared, you wait. I'm not in hurry to see my grandchild or anything like that. But the girls' side have forced, oh, we want to see our grandchild and all. Yeah, and they had now the grandchild, 3 months baby. They're asking us to come there. Me and my wife were saying only one thing: we'll come, but don't expect us to do too much of work for you. We are not here to serve you. We served one generation, that is our kids. Your kids, you need to take care. You can't take care, we'll guide you, but we cannot assist you. That is because you need your life. You know, you sacrifice it. What did you do for 65 years of your work? You earn money, you fed your kids, you made them to study well, and they have their wisdom. Both wife and husband are working, means they can afford to put a kid in daycare, right? Even if you are supporting them, you're say, suppose you have a son, your daughter-in-law will say, no, if my kid goes to daycare, from 8 hours, he will mingle with other kids and he will learn a lot. I'm telling you straight away. Or my son will say the same, right? Then what is the purpose then? Secondly, when you're sick, my wife says, who will support you? Nobody needs to support us. That's what you need to be. After 60, you need to build your strength, saying that I don't need any support. I'm individual, I will be independent, I'll do my exercise, I'll keep walking even at 70, and keep the guys who are at 79 and 80 as your role models. My professor here in Westchester is our role model. That man can drive faster than me on a highway at 80 years old, and he's still teaching. He wrote 4 books for past 5 years.
You should write books also. Otherwise, open a YouTube channel and talk. If you like talking instead of writing.
No, I'm just saying to you, we need to be inspired with those people and do our things. We need to visit several countries, right? If we stick to this grandchild and child, we'll be not seeing anything, because every other year they'll produce a kid for 2 years. That means for 5, 6 years, you're stuck. Well, and that is the life, because when you get into 70s, you're done. You don't want to move too much. And that is the precious time. So I would advise you, have expectations for you. Be selfish. You have sacrificed enough. Tell your husband also, same thing. We sacrificed enough. This is the time for us to enjoy.
Yeah, he is okay, but I am the one who's stuck with these mental questions, right? Like, oh, should I take care of my kids so that they can have a good career and things like that? Those things bother me.
No, that is another thought I used to have in a different way. When it comes to my children, I used to think, oh, how these people will settle and all. But whenever the interns are coming from India, they are settling, and these are coming out of somewhere or what. They need to work like them only, and they need to get their jobs, and they need to pass through what one has to pass through. Then I don't call my children that often. Both of them. The second one, I call him because he's alone. I call him once in 2 weeks, not even every week. My wife speaks on Sundays and she will complain to me, this fellow, we pay his phone bill. Because I'm above 55, right? I get discounts. So I told him I'll pay. And that fellow says, my wife says, I pay his phone bill. And that fellow does not even bother to call us. What is this nonsense? Every week she'll tell me. I said, let it be. What is there? If he calls. If he doesn't call, let him be. Whatever it is. Why do you worry? No. He should have responsibility. He has responsibility. But if he doesn't call, what can you do? We cannot go and ring his phone and pick it up for us. That is not the case. He has to have his So the more detachment that we get into, the better it is. And what's your kid's age? I don't know. If they are about 21 or so.
Yeah, they are about 20. One is about 21. One is going to be 19.
Yeah, they will change after 25.
Okay.
Definitely. What you think that these are my property, they are no longer your property.
I'm
Because they are
okay with that.
independent statues in the sense that, like a cloud, right? In cloud, somebody asks you, what is a cloud? Cloud is nothing like an apartment complex, right? Each apartment is a separate entity by itself, wherein a company hires a space there and they pay for it for usage. Similarly, here the kids also same. They will have their own apartment, they'll pay for their space. And you think that they'll stay with you, that is your dream, which will not happen. Which won't happen because
No, if they stay with us also, there is a generation gap. Because of that, we have to adjust so many things, and we will be more sick. If you ask me truly, even though my sons and daughter-in-law, everyone is our religion, our caste, and our Brahmin, still, Lord, because of generation gap, every thing is completely different. The things what they do will just, my heart will be completely shaken. Being Orthodox, also that is another problem I am going through. So
we need to go for next 3 months. This way.
You are on mute, Subramaniam Garu.
See, we need to go there to Atlanta now to my eldest son for 3 months. We gave contract for 3 months. We'll come there. That's all, because I don't want to overcome it. And my wife also agreed to it. She convinced me rather in this case. I said, we'll support them at least 6 months. She said, no, 3 months only. Okay, that's fine. I did not argue with her. I said, okay, let's do that. At least we'll play with small kid for 3 months. And then I told her, don't make attachment. You play with him, we played, over. That's it, right? So we go there. She is already nervous. She is really pricking my mind every day, saying that, how do we adjust? For example, simple things. If you choose some food, right, you'll either throw it away, you will not put it back in the refrigerator. Half-eaten plate. These guys do. Shame on me to tell you like that. Yeah, that is gross. So we cannot tell them. Then I said, we will not use the refrigerator in that case. But the girl realizes that, rather than my son, the girl realizes, so Atta and Mama will not eat chewed food. So she won't keep all that. When we go there, she'll keep it clean to the extent that she can cooperate. There are certain things still, because we are brought up like that in a fashion that there is certain rules in the home to live, and those are all 50% will be definitely violated, right? Then I told her one thing, you go there, you will think that you are living in a hotel for 3 months. When you come back, you take nice shower here, clean your clothes, and you live in your own way in your world. Finish. That also she is not able to digest. Yesterday evening while walking, I was telling her this. She said, oh, okay, I'll try to do that. But still she is struggling every day. She's asking me, shall I ask this lady, that lady? I said, if you ask them what they will tell, we are also suffering the same way. Right?
Yeah. They cannot follow all that, whatever we follow, right? Like muddy and all that.
Yeah.
It all depends on how the girl was brought up. Mostly the girl is the one who implements all that restrictions, right?
Yes,
but sometimes the boys also have to cooperate.
My children are against me on all these things. They don't believe in God.
Oh.
My eldest son says, only one time he believed, I believe, when I took him to Tirupati thinking that he will have a change. He said, I will do a clean shave. So
I see.
That is first thing. Oh, this is a good thing. Oh, my expectation is working, I thought. Then we went into the temple. He prayed very seriously. And while coming out, he was turning and saluting. Wow, Lord Venkateshwara changed him, I thought. Heavy, high spirits. Then after coming down, I asked him, did you believe him? When I was there. I don't know what I did, but I don't believe in God at all. Then why do you think so many people are going there? Yeah, they believe in God, therefore they're going. And I said, okay, one day this change will come in you. You just wait. Then he tells me, whenever I'm in trouble, I pray to the God. Nowadays, he's telling me. He lost his job. Then he said, she prayed, my daughter-in-law prayed day in and day out. Morning, evening, 3 hours for getting him a job. Even though she was a pregnant, advanced stage, still she prayed. Ultimately, he got the job. The moment he got the job after the interview, right? They went to the temple and they surrendered to God, I would say. That's it. And this fellow, when he bought a home also in Atlanta, then they did grow praise him. He did very well and he was chanting. I taught them even Sri Suktam and all. Both children were chanting Sri Suktam along with the Brahmin during grow praise time. Then I asked the second one, why are you chanting? He said, you taught me all this and there is a fun to chant. Okay, this is a small seed that it is working. Tomorrow it might work. So I decided not to force them. You cannot enforce godliness in anybody. It has to come by, God has to work on them to bring it back. That's all I would say.
I think life ultimately will bring them to God. And you have laid the foundation. So they have the foundation.
So the last but not least is try to detach now onwards. You'll be very happy and peaceful. As I suggested, whatever I said to the work also, copying to the emails to the boss is detachment only. Because you are not holding the forte, boss is holding the forte. So let it be. What is there? Same thing here also. Children, you brought them up, they're studied, and probably they'll get their jobs quickly and they try to be independent and they'll be well off. See, this kind of environment is not there in India, right? When we were studying, so we didn't see that. And now it is different. And everything, I don't know about your kids, but my kids will say, you don't know dad or you don't know mom. Do you face that?
Yeah.
So then when you don't know, why do you want to bother about simple thing. So we don't know, we don't know many things. I tell them, we don't know many bad things. We know good things better than you. I tell. We don't know many bad words. I told them also, we don't use bad words. We don't know many bad words at all. In fact, I know only few words, man. Other than that, I don't know. And you might know many more because you studied in your English school, right? I didn't do. I studied in Telugu school, right? You studied in Tamil. In Tamil, bad words, we know plenty. Dictionary is there. Similarly in Telugu. So I tell them that. Then the fellow will shut up. Otherwise, they'll say, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. Everything we don't know. What we know, then how did you grow up without we knowing anything? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
One thing I tell my kids, they say you don't know. Then I tell them, I carried you for 9 months. I have every right to tell you whether you implement or not. As a mother, if you are doing something not correct, I have to tell you. You listen or not, I will tell. If I didn't tell you, I will feel like, oh, I'm not telling my kids. Because as a mother, I have to tell them. They listen or not, it is not to me. Later, I should not feel, oh, I didn't tell them like that. No, I did my part. They follow or not, but that's what I do. Even my daughter, I still say, you don't tell me what I have to tell my son. I have every right on you, but on you, no. I cannot tell you what you have to do. But she's touch wood, she's very good girl. She's like a daughter to me. But still, I don't tell her anything. She's excellent girl. She's from US only. A Telugu girl, PYS Session Aug is match for my son. She does puja. She's in like completely traditional, completely modern. She does puja, all those things. Yeah, I'm happy. But my sons, I tell them everything. If I have to tell them, I tell them that. They say we are 21, 22. My both sons are working. One is working in DocuSign, other one is working in Intel, Arizona. So I tell them, even though you are 50 or 60, if I'm alive, I will tell you. As a mother, I have to tell you. You do it or not, I don't care. They will keep on nagging, but still I tell them. Yeah.
So the other point is they will pose as if they don't like her telling anything, right? But in the end, they will implement. There is an impact. And whenever I speak very little. Whenever I speak, yeah, dad, that's all. That means they're going to do. They'll say, yeah, dad. They say, why are you saying like that? Why can't you say, yes, dad? We will take it. We'll do it. But when she tells in the way in which they ought to be told she knows. And they'll say, okay, mom, leave it there. Then they will come to me, dad, mom is saying like this. Then follow what is there, what is wrong in it. You are also with mom only, we know. Okay, we'll do it. They will reluctantly, they'll accept it, and then they'll realize the benefit later. That time they won't acknowledge. 100% they won't acknowledge. Oh, you told. For example, we went to Arizona. This little one, the second one, bought a home long time, 2 years back or 1 year back. 1 year back. See, I don't remember even when he bought. That's my nature. I forget everything. I forget everything. If you ask me when my son got married, I strictly don't remember. Maybe in November in some year. That's it. Maybe 2020, I would say. But that might be wrong, definitely. Okay. So, so the thing I'm saying is this guy bought a home in Arizona. And I told him, why you are trying to buy? Why don't you stay in an apartment? No, dad, I am fed up paying rents and staying with roommates. I want to be independent. And discussion was going on between me and him, and he settled a home. And he said, this is the home I'm buying. Are you sure you are going to buy? I asked, yes, I'm buying. I'm going to sign up the document. Well and good, go and do it. And he bought it. And after that, I went there to do some puja or anything. Oh no, because of the time, right, he was moving, I had to do the puja remotely.
Oh,
I did Gropradesam puja from my home because I'm also into these things. Like if you say Ayyappa puja, I will do for you from my home itself remotely. Because of COVID, we were doing remotely for somebody. So somebody had a Gropradesam in Texas, one of my friends. He said, I bought a home and I need a priest to come and do it. If you don't get a priest, let me know. Oh, you are going to come here? And no, not necessarily. We'll do remotely. I'll do chant from here. What to do, I'll tell you. You will keep doing. That's it. There is no need. Huh? And I did like that. So this one also I did. And you know, at 1:30, he says, I need to go out. Around 1:30. I said, Sai, please wait for another hour. It will be done. Reluctantly, he waited. He was not even focusing on that. So, Dad, you made me to lose 1 hour. I had important assignment to attend, and I'm late now. This, that. He was cribbing on me. So that is the nature they have. Their priorities are theirs. They don't care for your sacrifices because life is like that. So take it easy. I sincerely tell you, take it easy. Attachment is okay. Monitoring them is okay, but don't get too much into these things that I'll support his grandson, granddaughter. God is there. He will, once he let the jiva come onto the earth, he has to show them the path. It is his responsibility, not ours. That's for sure. He has to do. That's what I tell every creature on this earth. My wife, I tell her, every creature on this earth is guided by God. The karma or whatever you talk, he is guiding factor, and he's nowhere, he's inside you, basically. That's what the realization to me. Paramatma is, Patanjali Sutra says, you need to raise Kaivalya. Kaivalyam is also here only. He's sitting here only. He's not there anymore. And he talks to us. That is called, we call it sixth sense, right? Sixth sense speaks to you when you are doing something. Let's say you're trying to buy a stock of Amazon, it is at 190, and you are very much tempted to buy. At that time, sixth sense tells, why don't you wait? That message will come definitely, and we don't wait. That is the karma. This fellow, this man is sitting here inside you and he's telling you. Like Sri Krishna proved, right? He is there in every 16,000 bombers. Everywhere he is there. Like that, he is there in every heart. So he tells, and we don't listen because we don't pay attention, basically. So therefore, you think deeply and you tell me whether my theory is right or wrong by observing, so that I will also learn from you. Yeah, sure. Then if you are right, I'll follow your advice, no doubt about it. I'm very open that way. I seek inputs from anyone, and if I feel that they are good, I will appreciate and I take them into consideration and I implement.
I feel
Sincerely.
the same way regarding God's guidance and God being within you, so there is nothing to contradict there.
Yeah. That is very much. Okay, then I will let you go because I'm taking too much of time.
No,
And
no,
6 o'clock.
I should appreciate you. I should be thankful to you for this wonderful morning session with you.
Oh,
I
no.
enjoyed it and I took a lot of inputs. And please either record it, all your thoughts in voice recording, right? Sometimes it's difficult, right? Or you put a YouTube channel, ask Madhavi Garu to record you, or write it down so that like it'll be useful for like at least like close friends and family, and then we can publish it later if we want.
She will send my chanting to you if you want. Rudram
Sure.
chanting she'll send, but that is not like a professional Brahmin who does every day, right? To that level, it won't be there, but it is just my own style, not because everything that I do is I have my style. I don't know why where it came from, because copying is okay, it is good to some extent, and once you learn, you need to adopt your own way.
Yeah. Some of the things that you said, right? I also follow. I don't like even this manager. She will keep asking me for input. She will tell something bad about my colleagues to me. I would neither agree or nor disagree, right? I'll be like, oh, yeah, like that.
I don't know. Is it like that? I don't know. That's the expression. You are a good observer. I don't know. I don't observe things because I'm more focused on.
Yeah, that is one of my ethics, right? Never talk bad about, because she's in a position to judge them because of whatever input you give. I will not
job
give
is that
input.
she is paid for it. That's it. See, she is paid for the sin that she has to do. That's it. I would say. Or in my case, what we had a 3,000 people organization. Everything is decentralized. There is nobody that will be contacting us. Like there were 3 people of our manager level team. One in Mexico, me, and another guy in Germany. He's a German. We 3 only will talk. We don't talk below that. We 3 will talk, and we 3 are very, very good pals. In the sense that if one fellow has something, he will immediately share, and we'll have every week an update among ourselves. That's where that will do. We keep it very short, and we try to be on technical front maximum. Any technical issues are there for anybody, they'll come to us, and then we will try to solve them and help them. We don't try to do this HR management. We don't approve any leave or anything for anybody. That is, the PA will take care of all that. There is a PA in Germany, she will take care leave approvals and all. We don't even touch that. It is her headache. So that means we reduce all our responsibilities, we pass it on to somebody. That's it.
Itaji, this is
చెప్పండి.
మీరు తెలుగు మాట్లాడతారా?
తెలుగు మాట్లాడతాను కొంచెం.
Oh, okay, very good. అయితే just wanted to know, this is your first time PYS classes or second time?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, okay. Then we all in same boat.
Yeah, but I have been in that spiritual reading. I've been reading a lot of Ramana Maharishi's teaching, and the Ramana Maharshi recommends certain books, right? Like Ribhu Gita, Yoga Vashishtam, and then yeah, a lot of books. So all those books I have. Kaivalya Navanitam, I think Kaivalya Navanitam, and Kenopanishad, maybe, and then Devi Kalotram, like that. Like he has some recommendations. All those books also I have read, so I know whatever they are talking about in Patanjali. So I understand better than the regular people who are attending, right? So I know what is the concept, and I do understand like how other people are struggling to get that, because there is no basic, right? You cannot tell people, oh, there is no good or there is no bad. They won't get the context like that. Like regular people cannot get the context, right? Unless like you have studied. So I'm not like a newbie to the spiritual teaching, but I'm attending these classes because my kids now, they are not at home, so I have some time, and I don't get interested in so many things, maybe the spiritual teaching and sometimes music. So I try to learn the chanting, right? Lalita Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam, and then chant them. Lalita Sahasranamam I'm learning to chant in like a Ragamalika, right? Like that, I spend my time divided between music and that spiritual teaching. So that's why I'm in this class. But if I read it on my own also, I will understand Patanjali, but I won't read, right? Like, but when I'm in a class like this, there is like a camaraderie, and then you do it repeatedly. So there is a discipline. That's why I'm in this class.
Oh, okay. Because couple of people joined like 2-3 times. Third session, I think they are going through. So I feel like sometimes when Sir yells at me, I feel like, oh, I should quit the class. Other day,
He's
Wednesday.
very rude. I want to tell him, hey, come on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you are in a spirit. Oh, I hope I'm not talking something wrong.
No, only we three are there.
I may tell him. Sometime I
on
may
that
tell him. I
front,
should tell him privately.
on that front, I wrote an email, wrote a message, and about to send it, because if you recall those events, right, that day particularly, she said, I walked 2 miles. Unless I motivate myself, I cannot make one more mile. I don't think that there is nothing wrong in that. Then he went on pondering about that as if it is something that it is wrong. Then I think in the night, he might have recalled something and he sent a message about walking. What to do during walking, focus and all. So then I thought, he is reacting rather than thinking and acting on that. Then the next day, he asked about flipping through the book. I was not in the class. I was just, there was a discussion on Wednesday. Did any guys flip through the book? You know, you buy a book, right? There is a value to it. I'll tell you the difference between PDF and the book buying. A book in hand is worth more than $1 million than a book, a PDF that you read online. This book, what it does is, for example, I brought a Bhagavad Gita book from my friend, handbook. That book, I put it on the table. Every day it is teasing me. When I look at that book, you brought me from that man's home and you kept it here. And at least in that fellow, in my friend's home, he used to refer once in a week because they have Bhagavad Gita classes. He had some other copies. This is small one, handbook, handy. And they are having a group who are talking, reading this Bhagavad Gita chapter by chapter. Then this book was teasing me every day almost. You are not reading me, you are not reading. That made me, and that was an eye opener, and I thought, okay, I must read. Then I thought it is very difficult for me to focus on this because it is such a big book and understanding is difficult. Then I called one guy in Ohio. He asked, did you read Bhagavad Gita ever? Oh, I want to read it, man. Oh, this is Lord Krishna pointed out to this guy, right? So then he's a Gujarati guy. So I said, we will do every day for 18 days, 18 chapters. 8 o'clock we start and we'll complete a chapter, till then we'll read. And I will translate every poem for you in Hindi because it was in Telugu. So I did that and I finished it in 18 days, 18 chapters. Then I felt happy. Then again, that book was there. Still you are not using. Like that, the senses were saying to me, that means inner side in the God is saying, oh, why don't you read again? So I kept trying. 5 times I read. Whereas a PDF, it came through, okay, it is in the downloads. Whenever I want, I can refer. But that want, when it comes, we don't know. At that time, we don't find it because we would have deleted from downloads or somewhere. So that is, a book is really a book and it has its own value. Whatever we say, it is online. And this man was coming back to the topic. He was saying, we don't flip through the PDF entirely. Whatever is needed, that only we see, because that is what a technical person is got used to it, unless you are a yogi or somebody who would like to. So that is the reason why she didn't go through. Secondly, she downloaded Telugu version. She was going through the Telugu version, it is easy. And you people don't need the flip through the book. And he did all that. You don't tell us that we are not kids 50 years or above. Then secondly, what he said is about homework. About the book only, none of them have agreed that they flip it through, but he picked her only, Madhavi. So I wrote very casually, saying that picking on one person and pondering on that is not yoga. I wrote it like I read to her also. Madhavi said, you are not sending any message, he'll get hurt. It is not good. If he's yogi, he should not get hurt. It should be an eye-opener for him. It's a learning thing. I said, no, you are not sending that, don't send. I stopped. I wrote a nice, not nasty message, in the sense that if you are not happy with her, you tell her that she won't join. What is there? This is not the end of the road for anything.
He's being rude. Like, I sometimes think I should tell him, right? Like, hey, be kind to them because they are like newly getting introduced to these topics, and we should not be talking like this. But I don't know. Again, I think, right? Okay, should I say? Should I not say? So, but I do see that he's being rude. And he's not supposed to be rude. If he understood all the teachings correctly, he's not supposed to be rude. As a teacher, you should have patience.
And lastly, my wife asked me, I said, let him be like that, why we leave it? I didn't want to send the message also. When she told me that, I agreed within my conscience and I left it. But how many times did he attend? Madhavi asked me. He has got this maturity after attending 3 times to Rajan's class, Dr. Rajan's classes, right? I'm attending first time, and I told him that I need to get digested. The difference between this learning and what you can learn, like she attended Salesforce classes recently, and she stood first. Okay, the teacher said you are the best in the class, or she competed with all undergrad students or somebody like that, and she did that. The teacher guy got really surprised that, ma'am, how you could do it so well. She kept on practicing, and she did well. But this I told her, yogi is who leaves everything, right? And we are in samsara samudram, right? These attachments are with us. Therefore, this path and that path will not coincide. What we need to do is what we can implement from the yogi's path, little things, that if we put in here, slowly, you are like you see that railway line, right? Main line and loop line, they say. From the loop line, you will go into the main line. So converging into that is a process. You cannot absorb one day all the things and put it there and try to go there and you'll fall. Instead of that, take what you can implement and what you can improve upon, work on that. And then it will slowly, you'll go there. It is not overnight journey. And that, okay, tomorrow onwards, I'm following Patanjali. I don't think you will say you are 100% following Sir Maharshi's, Ramana Maharshi's
It's
philosophy.
not possible. Like I try it every day, right? That's why you need reminders. Even though I have already read all his teachings, right? I go to the satsang. Yesterday evening, I went to the satsang, right? That's why I couldn't attend this book released by Rajan or whatever it is. And so I go to the satsang religiously. I read repeatedly. I try to implement repeatedly, right? I used to think, oh, maybe I am like very patient and I'm better than others in controlling and not getting angry and all that. But that's not the case. When you are put in a situation where somebody triggers you, you really behave badly. Like all your ego and everything will come out. So you need to constantly read these things and keep on implementing. And by Bhagavan's grace, sometimes you will attain.
Last but not least is when you get up, right? When you look at your face in the mirror, after whatever time you look at it, you should feel pleased about it. Okay, this is my day. Yeah, I look smarter. Whatever it is, I look smarter. Number one, we need to think, because who the hell will come and appreciate you that you are the best person, right? You had to tell yourself that you are the best. Then whether you are best or not, at least you'll give the best out of you because you think high about you. If you think low about you, you will not be able to do anything. That is the fundamental thing. Oh, but this yoga, the yogis won't feel that. But we in samsara that we are following, we need to have this. If we don't have this, we can't live. And we are living in society, not isolated. That is another thing, right? The fellow who carries, for example, a simple, nasty example, if you go for a get-together, if it is not a party, let's call it as a big, small word, get-together, 15 people will come with Ralph Lauren polo, that polo symbol, right? And you go with a normal t-shirt like this, the Seminary School or Pittsburgh School shirt. And in Indian society, they first have a glance at you and they'll have some feeling about you, although they cannot express in this country like that, but they'll have this. And when you talk also, they'll try not to avoid you because they feel that ego in their nerves. And when you really show up your presence and talk very logically, then they'll start listening. Till then, they don't care. That is the society in which we are running. And you cannot, of course, we stopped attending any get-together. We don't attend. Because we see this is all ego stuff. Oh, my son is a doctor. My son gave me this iPhone. He presented to me for birthday. I don't care any value for them because you believe it or not, till today I don't have a cell phone on my name. I had my first BlackBerry from office. After that office only for 21 years, they give me a cell phone for office use. Then I asked the office, I get some personal calls on this, do you worry? They said, no, you are privileged to have it. But I don't share that number with all. And whenever I take for any repair or anything to IT, that case is, your phone is as clean as a new one. There are no apps or anything in this. Yeah, man, I don't use this phone for my personal use, only for this. Oh, okay. This is strange. Nobody does this in our office. Yeah, don't worry about others. do my work and let me go. That's all. That's how I don't have. So I see one guy says, my son gave me, he will stylishly show a iWatch. My son gave me this iWatch, for my birthday present. I see. Then I told my wife, these are all egoistic people. Let them live. And there are Tana, Nata, Beta, and all are there. We are not members of that. We don't go there. So many times my wife asked, why don't you be a member of those groups? I said, I hate them. I don't go. I want to go there. I don't want to. Only if one person called Garikipati Narsimharao, his name, he is a pravarta. Pravarta means they teach, they speak about living in a good way. They talk about Ramana Maharshi, they talk about Adi Shankaracharya, and they take only small snippets of them. In a society, how do we live within our Sanatana Dharma? They'll teach. So that person talks in a humorous way. If you know Telugu, right? Understand? Go and listen to his Garikipati Narsimharao. YouTube, several are there. Garikipati Narsimharao. So many things. YouTube. And everything he will sarcastically explain. Means he'll take an example, how do we do in the society, and how it can be done in a better way using Sanatana Dharma. When he talks about Sanatana Dharma, he'll be a little bit serious, but other than that, around it, he will frame nicely the topic and he will talk. And he'll talk for 5 minutes, 6 minutes only, on small topics. That is, so when that person comes, I'll try to go and listen to him. And he does the Astavadana. You know, Astavadana means there will be, and Satavadana also is a master, he's a king of that. 100 poems they have to recall, right? That is 100 questions, no, 50 questions. In Satavadana, they do 50 questions they have to remember, but they have to create on the fly 100 poems of 4 stanzas each. Whenever they give some problem on that, they will have to create a poem, basically, on the fly, in front of the audience. He can do that. He can do that very well. So not only that, there are some more people in Telugu that they do, and this man does it very, very well. And at the end of the 3 days, it will be 3 days actually. 16 kavis will be there, all poets, all will be asking, challenging him. On the 3rd day, he has to recall all 100 and entire event, whatever he cited, everything he has to recall and he has to tell them. And some people even remember who asked what, and with their name they will tell. So that's that kind of knowledgeable event I try to go. But anyway, it is 9 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you, Subramaniam Garu and Madhavi Garu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Geeta ji.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Hope you will not be thinking that I wasted your time.
No, definitely not. It was a very, very useful session, and anytime I need guidance, I will get in touch with you.
Sure. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Geeta.
Oh, last but not least is in Saundarya Lahari, there is a 3rd poem. Maybe you know better than me, Saundarya Lahari being Tamilian. Avidyanamantastimiramihira dvipa nagari Jadanam Chaitanya Stavaka Makaranda Srutijari Daridranam Chintamani Gunanika Janma Jalado Nimagnanam Dranstra Muraripu Varahasya Bhavati. This is the poem that it says, any problem that is there, Amma, it is yours. I don't want it. You created this problem, you solve it. This is the 3rd poem that Shankaracharya has written in Saundarya Lahari. That is the 3rd. Every day morning, what I do is I come down, after brushing my teeth, I look at Madhura Meenakshi. I brought that picture. I look at her and I'll tell her this. And one more thing is, ఇంకోటి ఫస్ట్ అంతకు ముందుదే.
Yeah, even I am starting to learn Soundarya Lagari in like raga format, right?
Okay, then you are
I
advanced.
did learn this slogam, though I
Uh-huh.
forgot how to chant it right now, but I remember this. Maybe I will chant it every day also.
Yeah. This is very helpful. At least it is. I don't know about ragam and all. Only my teacher, what she taught is this way. Avidyanamantastimiramihiradipanagari Jadanam Chaitanya Stabakamakadandasrutijari Daridranam Chintamani Gunanika Janma Jalado Nimagnanam Dranstra Muraripu Varahasya Bhavati. Like that she taught.
Okay.
I don't know ragas and Sangeetam, zero. So whatever way she taught, I just remember. We are at 92 now. She taught up to 92. In 2 weeks, it will be done. So every week, one class. And after that, she told us, do it during the Dasra time. So what I do is every day I practice till whatever she taught. And then another 4 will be added, right? So 92. But I did not by heart. I would have by hearted around 20, I think, so far, but it is coming. It will take time. So other than this on this Vishnu Sahasranamam is our weapon, right, to survive.
Yeah.
So that is that. Yeah. This is fundamentally first thing I do in the morning. So, but I see after doing that, my day goes well. Take care and all the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you, Ji.
No, don't salute me. I'm nothing, zero.
Thank you. Anybody who gives good things, they are guru,
Yeah.
and so you have to be respectful. Thank
We
you.
also took from you. I got now the eye opener from you is next step is, of course, my next step is learning Narayani, which I went up to 100 poems. I learned 1,000 are there. But it will take time that because I need to go through the class and recite because I write down with manual pen and paper. I write down and from that only I'll gain. I can't gather from online. I try to observe from online, listen and write it down on my paper. Then I practice. That is a little bit orthodox way, but it works for me. So that is that. After that, I will be asking you about Ramana Maharshi and what books I need to buy.
Sure. I will send you all the resources I have.
Yeah. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Ji.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
Geeta.
Vijay.
Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, please take care.